What is far deadlier than most people realize? Putting feet legs on dash of car. I've heard enough horror stories from my parents who are both nurses to last me a lifetime. Legs on the dash of a car are not allowed while I'm driving for this reason alone. Abscessed teeth can kill you. Okay fine, I'll go to the dentist. I don't actually have an abscessed tooth, but I'm a hypochondriac, so maybe I do and I just don't know it. Eating a slug. Obviously it's nasty, but kids do stupid shaz dares or even in hazing rituals. Slugs contain parasites that will get into your brain and effing kill you slowly. Fights. People are way too eager to prove who's the bigger badass. Hit someone the wrong way or start something with the wrong person and someone's not going home. Then if the police show up, someone's getting charged. Depending on the severity of the other party's injuries and the word of witnesses, you could be going away for a very long time. Not to mention the civil suits that may bury you in debt. Yup, I got sucker punched right above my left eye. 6 stitches and a fractured orbital socket and had to stay overnight at the hospital for observation since it was a head injury. Since the injuries were from an assault, charges were automatically pressed and we found ourselves in court a few months later. All from a single punch. Stress. One of the deadliest things out there. It contributes to and exacerbates many existing health problems. Not to mention creating new ones. Real black licorice root extract contains the natural sweetener glycyrrhizin, which is over 50 times sweeter than sucrose. This ingredient has various pharmaceutical properties. It acts as an expectorant, facilitating removal of mucus from the lungs by coughing, and it increases blood pressure. The latter effect can become significant with a daily consumption of 50 grams or more of licorice candy for as little as 2 weeks. Glycyrrhizin can cause potassium levels in the body to fall, triggering abnormal heart rhythms, as well as high blood pressure, edema, swelling, lethargy, and congestive heart failure in some people. I always loved going to Europe as a kid and finding the licorice candies with the may cause hypertension warning labels on them. Felt dangerous eating them. Haha. Tylenol. It's actually a lot easier to overdose on than most people realize, and it slowly destroys your liver over a period of days. Not a fun way to die, to put it lightly. For all you high-functioning alcoholics out there, just avoid Tylenol. Infections can still F you up easily if you don't seek medication attention in time. Horses. They weigh 1,200 pounds. They are extremely jittery, and they can crush you or kick you to death on accident. And that's just horses in general. Stallions will try to hurt you just to assert dominance, and these are animals that have been known to bite each other's throats out when they fight. Don't mess with horses unless you know what you're doing. Always be careful, even if you do. A friend of mine from school always had horses, and was a truly excellent rider. She lived her life around horses, rode competitively, the whole deal. 1 year out of school, we heard she died, got kicked in the chest, I believe attempting to get a nervous horse out of the float. So absolutely sad, and definitely reinforced for me how much care to take. I'm also reminded of a relief teacher we had missing a finger, apparently bitten by a horse when she was younger. Falling down. A single mild fall can easily kill you if you happen to land just right, usually on the back of your head. This is why throwing a punch is such a potential life changer. It's not the punch, but the fall where someone bangs their head just the right way and now you're up on a murder charge cause buddy scuffed your pumas. Standing under waterfalls. Edit to elaborate. Loose rocks or debris from the river or stream above could fall and crush you. Great. Now I'm scared of waterfalls. Just want to throw a story out here. I am a dentist. I have a colleague who had a patient that needed a root canal. The patient put it off. He had a vacation coming up. He was going to Alaska in bush country to go hunting by himself. Now Alaska bush country means you are alone. He was dropped off and his ride wasn't going to come back to pick him up for a week or two. Well, after his ride left, the tooth he needed to get his root canal on blew up, had severe pain and was all alone, no one to help him in the middle of nowhere. This was mid to late 90s, so no cell phone neither. Well, his ride came back to pick him up, finds a dead body. The guy killed himself. He couldn't take the pain anymore. Pain was so bad he couldn't wait the 1 or 2 weeks for his ride to come back. Shot himself, left a suicide note telling his story. Moral of the story: don't put this off. There is no pain like tooth pain. On my way to brush my teeth. Holding your breath while scuba diving. To most people who don't scuba dive it may sound harmless, but if you hold your breath and descend even a little over a meter you can suffer major lung damage as a result of the gas in your lungs expanding from the lessening pressure. When I was training to dive, my instructor took a gallon milk jug down with us and he filled it half full with air and brought it upwards, explaining what he would do before we went down. It didn't take long before it filled completely with air and blew the cap off as we were going up. When we got to the surface, he said, imagine that was your lungs. Machines. If you get casual around them they will eat you. Oh, the videos I've seen of people getting stuck in machines shudder. Stay safe around equipment. Table corners. Particularly low tables. You fall farther before striking the table, giving a greater impact force. For similar reasons, hard surface floors that are prone to be damp. For example, tiled floor in a shower. This applies especially if the shower has a nice little built-up threshold between it and the rest of the bathroom. Experienced this one firsthand stepping into a shower in a hotel room. Update. Wow, this has blown up. Please, stay safe, friends. I almost lost an eye to a table corner once. Grapefruit juice interacts with a lot of medications and could be very harmful to you depending on the medications you take. Alcoholism. It's salty. Mommy needs her wine. And look at this sunscreen bottle that doubles as a secret flask until your liver gives out in your mid-40s. It's sad that our culture has made alcoholism into some type of cute joke instead of recognizing how much it can destroy your body and life, and the lives of those around you. In the last decade, alcoholism rates of women have closed a huge portion of the gap with men's alcoholism rates. Obviously some of that is due to increased reporting of that middle-class mommy needs her wine type substance problem. But it's really disturbing how hard this rose all day have a bottle before dinner cultural narrative has been pushed around heavy wine drinking being tasteful and fun. The way we view substance abuse and class definitely factors in. Middle-class alcoholism lets some real problems fester. Hippos. They kill more people in Africa than lions do. My father-in-law is from Egypt. Two things scare him: hippos and rats. Shift work. The disturbance in your circadian rhythm takes years off your life. I worked a 12-hour shift work job for a year that rotated between days and nights. I call it the blackout year because it's a giant year-long hole in my memory. All I did was eat, sleep and work. Struggled with indigestion regularly. Completely awful way to live. Liquid oxygen. It allows fire to reach such insane heat that it will burn through steel. Not melt, burn. Touching inside a guitar amp can F you up really bad. It holds a charge, and it all comes out at once if you touch the wrong spot, especially one of those tube amps. Tubes need a lot of power. Birthdays. You are 8% more likely to die on your birthday than on any other day of the year. That's interesting. Do you know why? Probably a combination of factors. Parties, substances, extra travel increase risk. Also probably includes suicides. Holidays often bring out the worst when your mental health isn't good. Medication. Those dosages on the labels are not just suggestions, y'all. Bleach. I knew a boy in the Scouts who decided he wanted a change from his natural brown hair, so he tried to bleach it blonde, using Domestos. Neat. His younger sister, who was also in the troop, turned up at the district sports day saying he couldn't come cause he tried to bleach his hair the previous day and was now in hospital with second-degree chemical burns over his entire scalp. Took 6 months for his hair to grow back. Fortunately he suffered no scarring as a result. Leaving potatoes for too long produces solanine gas that can kill. Smoke. It's not only the fire that can kill you, and there is a very good reason you're taught to stay low escaping a fire. The smoke is a hot gas layer that can melt your face off, and that's forgetting the lung damage that it can do. Toxic relationships. Far too many suicides happen because of bad relationships and no other way out. Former abused husband here. Finally got out because I knew I was going to kill myself if I didn't. Years of therapy. On suicide watch for a year. It's amazing how much you can be torn down. Trucker here. I've had 2 blood clots in my legs from driving long distances and having my leg pressed against the corner of the seat for hours on end. One almost killed me. Apparently it's very common with truckers. You're supposed to stop and walk around every hour and a half to keep things circulating. which almost nobody does due to time constraints. The same thing happens in gaming chairs. Apparently people forget to move their legs because they are so focused on the game. You don't need to worry so much if you're younger, but if you're a gamer who's a little older, please be aware. Essential oils. Do not put them in your food. They are not made to be food safe. In a single year, there are 25 more deaths caused by pens than deaths caused by sharks. Everyone has at least one pen in his pencil case, but nobody has a shark in his pencil case. Mental abuse at any age. It doesn't matter if you think it's a joke or if others are doing it too. You have no idea what people are going through, and that one comment could be what pushes them over the edge. Even more so if it's a comment on something they are insecure about, or if you're not the only one saying it, or if it's repetitive. Giving birth. Had a friend from high school recently lose his wife giving birth to their second child. I do not have the details, but she either bled internally or had a blood clot, maybe both, had to have an emergency C-section. She'd been told beforehand a C-section was a better choice for her, but she wanted a traditional delivery. She was dead within an hour of giving birth to their daughter. Going for runs on the roads at night without wearing lights or reflectors. Oftentimes people even wear black. They think that just because they can see the car that the car can see them. It only takes one accident to change someone's life completely. Lack of exercise. People think if they're sedentary but just eat so little that they don't get overweight, then they are just as healthy. Sadly, no. Simply being thin does not equate to being healthy. 100-calorie snacks are not saving your life. They're nothing but another sales tactic, a way to sell you less for more. Leftover rice. A really easy way to get food poisoning. This is the only one I've been shocked by so far. Bullying. Happens in workplaces all the time. We teach kids about bullying, but we really haven't got a handle on it as adults.